Welcome back, everybody. We are now on to the section of this course where we're looking at launching your e-commerce store. So launching your dropship store. Now, every single day online, there are dozens of new stores opening, maybe even hundreds. Now, in fact, 90% of these stores, they're never going to go anywhere. They're never even going to get off the starting block, because the biggest mistake, and it seems to be a very common mistake, it's a very naive way of looking at things, but it's basically through lack of awareness and a lack of knowing how things work online, and just lack of understanding of the whole scale of the online world and of e-commerce in general. So the mistake that most people seem to make is that they think that once their store has been opened, so once they've done everything necessary to get their store actually opened, so it's live online, they've done most of the work, and they can pretty much celebrate at that stage and congratulate themselves for having done all this work and got this online store live on the internet. Now, you can congratulate yourself at that stage because you have done a lot. If this is your first time doing this, you have achieved a lot by getting to this stage. But there is much more to do. And for those people who don't realize this, they're very soon going to become frustrated and disappointed when they realize they're not getting any sales. And they're going to be wondering why it is that these other stores are doing so well, and here they are, and nothing's happening at all. So that can obviously be very frustrating and disappointing. So before we go any further, I'd like to give you some motivation. I'd like you to pause this lecture now and go to this website here. Go and type this into your address bar, sugarandcotton.com. And then once you've spent just 2 or 3 minutes taking a look at that store, come back and unpause this lecture. All right, now that store that you just had a look at, it doesn't look anything really special, right? There's nothing about it that would say to you, this store is making an absolute fortune. In fact, that store gets over 1 million visits every month and is generating 6 figures, possibly even 7 figures in revenue every month. And they're doing it all drop shipping. Most of their drop shipping comes from China. So most of their orders are fulfilled in China. And they use suppliers in other Asian countries as well. But primarily it's China. And more than likely, primarily, it's from AliExpress. Now, you may be wondering why this store, it doesn't look anything special. This is a Shopify store. They are using a regular Shopify theme, so an off-the-shelf theme. There's nothing about this store that you could look at and say, I can see why this store is doing so well. They don't even have that many products. But what this store has done is they have built up a very, very big following. In fact, their Facebook fan page now has almost 1 million likes, almost 1 million followers. And they have also built up a very large email list from their store visitors and previous customers. So they've built this up over time. But it's not just that. You need to realize that behind every successful store, there is a story. And it's a story of trial and error, of frustration, of failures, of determination, of grit, and everything else that goes with success in business. And this doesn't just apply to running your own online store, it actually applies to any business. So any kind of big success like this store is experiencing, this doesn't come easy and it doesn't come overnight. It requires a particular mindset and a particular way of looking at things. And that way of looking at things is that when something goes wrong, you don't fall at the hurdle. You see every failure as an opportunity to take what went wrong and turn it around so that you can do it a different way the next time. So that is really the type of mindset it takes to create the kind of success that that store is experiencing. And it takes a lot of hard work. There's no question about that. Now, that particular store, there is now a whole team of people working on that store. So basically, there will be people who are over on AliExpress, and their specific task is to evaluate and research products on AliExpress to find products that may well be winners and hopefully will be winners or have good potential for being winners. There will be somebody dealing with the social media side of things. There will be somebody who deals with the email marketing side of things. So, there's a whole team of people working now on that business. Any one of you studying this course right now can get to that stage, can be at the stage and get to the stage where you are employing people. Even if it's virtual employees, that's fine. So you don't have to have employees in an office. It can be virtual employees, so outsourcing. Any one of you can get to that stage. Remember what we spoke about earlier on in the course. Your ideas, your niches, your products, your store, none of it is set in stone. You can change anything whenever you like. You can change complete direction if you want to. And almost certainly, I can say this with almost without a doubt, that is not the first store that the people behind it or the person behind it ever set up. All right, so please do take on board what I have said here in this lecture, and don't go and try and model your store on Sugar and Cotton. You won't have that success they are having just because you model your store on theirs. Their success now is down to the massive following that they have built over time. All right, let's move on and get started with launching the store, because this is the first step. Nothing happens until we take the first step.